No more heroes, it's hero begin to catch on nobody but yourself, nothing less to do.
Travis, it's kill or be killed.
Ooh, happy Wednesday, everybody. Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. And we got some more gaming news. And I really had to sift through a lot of stuff today. Obviously, because of it being April Fool's Day, a lot of game developers like making different announcements, saying that's going to be real. But of course, we all know it's not. Even Opera GX, I don't know if anybody's been using the browser as of late. But if you're someone who thinks you may or may not have a dead pixel in the middle of your screen, they decided to prank their consumers and their user base by putting just a green dot in the middle of your monitor if you're using Opera GX. So if you're wondering if your monitor is having issues, don't worry, it's not. I don't know how they thought that was a good idea, but it's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I just hope there's nobody panicking and thinking they need to replace their monitors. But I hope you guys are having a good time getting halfway through the week. You know, 2 more days until it's Friday. So hopefully you guys got some plans to go during the weekend and just hang out, relax. Obviously, we know Easter is coming up relatively soon. I think that's a Sunday, if I remember correctly. That all being said, I hope you guys are gonna have some time to spend with your families, relax, or some time alone if you're not really kicking it with your family right now. Maybe a day of rest. Day to just relax, not be stressed out. Some people, instead of being next to their family members, they need all the time they can get away from them. And there's no shame in that. But we're going to be talking about this gaming news and covering everything going on with that. And then afterwards, we'll be playing Slay the Spire 2. I think before that, I just want to say, make sure you guys are taking a time out of your day to take care of yourselves. Whether that's taking a walk around the neighborhood, maybe it's taking a break from social media, not answering your phone after a certain amount of time, unless it's an emergency, of course. Or just taking care of your body, maybe reading a book. Maybe just sitting in bed doing nothing, exercising. Who knows what that could be, right? But we got a lot of announcements to get through today, so I'm not gonna keep stalling. Let me pull up some of them, actually. Luckily, unlike last stream, we're starting off with a lot of good news this time around. Thank you for the like, Ricky. I appreciate you popping in, bro. Hope you're doing well. I may actually give you a shout out and return the favor for the raid the other day.
Yeah, boy.
Because more people should check you out. I really like what you do, and I really like the vibes of your streams, and I hope more and more people can see what you do. Because we don't have a lot of people on the space being positive influences.
Am I finally gonna get revenge on these boulders that were fucking me up in the last game? Oh, too easy, bro. They don't even stand a chance now.
See, they're trying to do it to you, Super Mario.
Oh, shit. Oh, my bad. Oops.
That's funny. But again, thank you for popping in. But if you guys haven't checked out Ricky, highly recommend him. He streams typically, I want to say, around nights. So if you're someone who, you know, wants to keep someone tabbed up, watch before bed, or maybe you're working nights and you need someone to kind of keep you occupied, get you through a shift, highly recommend him. His streams are nice. That all being said, like I said, we were going to start off the stream with some good news. Case in point, Crimson Desert, the game that initially when it first came out, people were very divided on it and still are, saying that it wasn't the game they were promised. It had a lot of issues. It kind of stumbled out the gate. It's a little rough around the edges, needed some work, just a little bit more TLC, some elbow grease. They've been patching the game like crazy for the last few weeks, and it seems to be paying off because right now Crimson Desert has sold over 4 million copies. So gotta clap it up for him. And they made these changes relatively fast. If you guys don't know, Crimson Desert comes from the same company who made Black Desert, and they're normally used to dealing with MMOs. As such, Crimson Desert was supposed to be an MMO when it first started. I think everybody knows that by now. Though I don't think they expected the rate at which developers who normally work on MMOs fix problems to apply to a single player game. That's usually foreign to a lot of people, especially when dealing with different companies and different policies. For instance, Bethesda dropped an update for Fallout 4 that broke the game and broke VATs, and it took them about 19 months to fix. In Crimson Desert, it's taken them only a few days to address many of the major issues plaguing the game, adding more content, adding more fixes, and just generally, what's the word for it? I want to say just improving the game over time. It really is nice how much the opinion publicly has flipped on this game, because at first people were not with it. Like, it was one of those games that was getting harder and harder to tell people why you liked it, because there was just so many things rooting against it. Like, the more you wanted to enjoy it, the more the game would fight you on that. But if you're someone who stuck it out and stuck with it, it appears to be that you're really eating good right now, because the reviews have gone from borderline in the negative categories to mostly positive to very positive now. It's like an 80% positive rating, and the game is sold 4 million copies. So it's really nice. So you love to see that, love to hear that. But unfortunately, oh no, not unfortunately, actually, I do have some more news for y'all concerning Crimson Desert. Where is it? Here it is. We did get some more insight as to the developmental process too surrounding the game, because a lot of people were really confused why the story felt so disconnected and dysfunctional, and that even extended to the voice actor for some reason. You know how crazy it is to come in on a project and voice act for a game and really have the voice actor look at the story and realize none of this makes sense and have to come in and be like, yo, what are we doing here? Because he's even had to voice some of his opinions about the story and where Cliff's story should go. That's the main character's name. But for those who don't know, there's a lot of people getting fired, getting replaced, a lot of different rewrites for the script and how the story was going to go. So if you're someone who's currently playing, the story wasn't finalized until shortly after this game. Well, shortly before this game was going to release. So if you're someone who's kind of wondering how this all happened, that's a very, very spark noted version of an explanation. But let's get into it and see what happened here with the voice actor. So this article goes on to say that it's safe to say Crimson Desert is a success with 3 million copies as of 4 million now, and substantial patches coming in hot, but it's hard to fix a narrative and quest structure that was described as fatally undercooked by Lewis Gordon in Eurogamer's own review. Now we've learned the voice behind stoic protagonist Cliff, Alec Newman, was as confused by its nature as many players. His words on the creative process behind the character, the story, and the journey of making sense of it all comes from March 29th's Friends Per Second podcast. There, the actor didn't shy away from expressing his frustrations while working on a gigantic game. Nearly 2 years into recording, they sort of said, well, we're going to start recording in earnest now. And I went, what the hell do you mean? We've been doing this for ages. Hey, yo. But Newman is no stranger to working on both huge and small video games. And last year, he won a BAFTA Game Awards for his performances in Still Wakes the Deep. While he didn't outright criticize the writing or creative process in Crimson Desert, he admitted the experience was very different before pointing out the developers kept changing the goalposts, only giving him cards of the different parts of Pywell before they became serious about the direction they wanted to take the story and Cliff in. He just kept saying, yes, but what is happening? And this lines up with recent reports of claims from anonymous sources linked to the development of the game. Those who also pointed to the story and other key elements not being locked until right before release. And that came from a developer who was working on a game who ended up releasing that statement on a website where developers have to be vetted before they're actually allowed to post on it. So this came from someone who was working on the game from the team themselves who wanted to remain anonymous. But moreover, internal power struggles and leadership changes greatly altered the game over the course of development. If all of that was true, it's a miracle the game shipped at all and found this level of success. Even the gray mains and the idea of family and trying to bring something back together, which is essentially the backbone of the story, weren't completely defined in Crimson Desert's early days. After about 2.5 years, they decided they really wanted that to resonate. And I don't want to say they started panicking, but they were like, oh yeah, we really want this, and we really want Cliff to care about his comrades. And I said, well, he does, but you haven't written that monologue. So while Newman seems grateful for the opportunity to work on such a huge game and he's happy about it resonating with people, he underlined that those moments were fewer than they could have been in reference to the opportunities given to Cliff as a character beyond his stoic attitude. As a Scotsman myself, I know what that means, but it's very, very hard to play 150 hours with somebody who doesn't give anything away ever. That's crazy. But I'm glad the game is performing better and the game is getting better and the game is only going to continue to improve that they keep patching it and adjusting it and making these changes like they have been. And I think this is really going from a game that could have been a bust. Because imagine if they hadn't made any of these changes at the speed that they're making or really made any changes at all. Because we do have developers who just would have left it and just been like, oh, well. So it's really interesting. Really interesting seeing this happen. It's a really good thing too. Because we're seeing improvement. But in more good news, this one might seem like it came out of nowhere because it almost did. I don't know if anybody here has also played Gary's mod or is interested in Gary's mod, but I wanted to report on this because if you did, you just kind of had to be there. It was a great game. For those that don't know, it was a mod made primarily based off of like games like Portal, Half-Life 1 and 2, made from the Source engine. And of course, the creator's name is Gary. And it kind of started out as like a fun little project he was doing, and then it just ballooned into this big sandbox like project where people were developing and making their own games, servers, and had some crazy ideas coming in there. A lot of people were meeting up on it, a lot of people were playing it. And it seems like he's made a spiritual successor called Sandbox, which is why they spelled it like this. And it comes out on Steam April 28th. Apparently we don't have a price just yet, but we have a date. But 20 years after Gary's mod pretty much changed everything, Facepunch Studios has revealed that the Sandbox successor, yeah, Sandbox, pronounced Sandbox, will finally launch on Steam April 28th. When I first saw this word, my brain just wouldn't put it together. The news arrived not with a big announcement or flashy marketing push or any kind of fanfare at all. It just popped up quietly in a Steam page update. I love announcements made like this. It's nice to have it official, but seriously, a Steam DB update is as close as we got to an official announcement. The April 28th launch date is more of a refinement than a big surprise, as we've known for a while now that Sandbox would be out sometime in April. The bigger news dropped last week when Facepunch announced that it signed a license deal with Valve that will allow Sandbox users to make games with it, then export them and release them as standalone games on Steam without having to pay Facepunch anything. Which is crazy. Like, we love to hear that. Like, come on now. Because who else would have done that? Who else would have done that? That's actually something to clap up and celebrate. Imagine how many, you already seen what people were doing with Dreams. If you guys remember the Courage the Cowardly Dog games and other projects people were making in there, and just people using Unity, Godot, like all these different engines that indie developers have been working on and using to just make all these different games. And now we're getting another one, which is going to make things even easier. And you don't even have to pay the original developers for it. Of course, you got to give Valve their slice of the pie, but their policy on sales and things like that is very forgiving as far as most companies are concerned. But let's see here. Gary Newman, the author behind Gmod, of course, says his game creation platform Sandbox will probably be priced similarly to Gary's mod. He says he originally expected Gary's mod to make about $30,000 as a best case scenario. And he asked Gary Newman if he was really going to rename Sandbox as Gary's mod too after an overwhelming poll, and he joked people are kids. But there's still details to hammer out. We need to create a license between Facepunch and the people shipping games, then double and triple check everything is legit. The studio explained this in its March 25th update, but getting things sorted with Valve was no doubt the big hurdle in the process. The arrangement will theoretically mean more Source 2 games on Steam in the future, though Sandbox uses a modified version of the engine. And as for why Facepunch doesn't want to take a cut in the work it enables through Sandbox, studio founder and CEO Gary Newman recently told PC Gamer's Chris Livingston that he has enough money, which is also why he hasn't sold Facepunch to a bigger outfit. Newman is also grateful for the opportunities he's enjoyed through Rust and Gary's mod and wants to extend that to others as much as possible. That's my main motivation now, is giving people what I've had, because I think Valve did it for me. And Valve's always like that. They're always like, how much money can we make for everybody else? That's what their HAS system is and everything like that. So I think we should do the same because everybody benefits. And Sandbox on Steam still doesn't have a price listed, but Newman told Chris it will likely probably cost $20, maybe $10, $10 to $20 around there. So I wanted to cover that just in case anybody was interested in a game like this, in case anyone's interested in like coding or making games or just trying to develop something or just looking for another Sandbox game to play besides something like Roblox or Fortnite. Remember, competition breeds innovation. What was I going to say here? Speaking of Sandbox games, I do have some sad news though, as we're losing one. Unfortunately, Rec Room is shutting down June 1st, 2026. After 10 years of operation from 2016, the social gaming platform reached over 150 million players, but cited sustainability challenges in the VR and gaming market, which is unfortunate, man. Because I actually played Rec Room quite a bit, and this was fun. This is one of the best games in VR, but the space has grown so stagnant, and there's less and less people using it, especially if you had one of the Meta Quest headsets. Because there are so many people who bought those over the holiday seasons because, you know, you had to have a Facebook account and log in through that. And you had to jump through some hurdles if you wanted to keep your games in the library. It was a lot. And I think you had to jump through some hurdles to even use your Steam library. So it was fractured at that. Not to mention that I think VR is still very, very niche. And there just hasn't been much innovation in the space as of late. I think the newest thing was going to be the Steam frame coming from Valve. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more and more announcements for games that are on there that might have issues like this game did. I'm hoping we don't. I just wanted to cover this because I was a big fan of this game and it was fun. It was essentially like a VR Roblox almost in terms of freedom and creativity. Because I think a lot of people are really sleeping on Roblox because I've seen people buying houses and apartments just based on sales they were making from Roblox games. Like it is very popular. And unfortunately to see a game like it go like this is unfortunate, man. It's so sad. Something I'm not sad to see go is OpenAI Sora. It's finally dead. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. People were doing everything they could with this software that was awful that you could think of. From racist videos on different groups of people, especially black people. They were really just making videos of us arguing on Walmart, people wearing bonnets, and then just being ignorant to each other, making videos about people just drinking and embracing every single stereotype you could think of, and just lying about things that didn't happen and using these AI videos as proof. It was horrible. It needed to go. But we found out they were losing $1 million a day with this software.
It's unbelievable.
It had fewer than 500,000 users. And Disney executives were informed of the shutdown less than an hour before it was announced. And Disney is now in talks with over a dozen companies to implement AI, shifting focus to longer term bets like robotics. Oh man. I'm very happy that this is dead. We did not need this. If anything, it's showing why people do not need this. People are doing disgusting things with software like this, like making people naked on Twitter. It's awful, man. It's awful. We just do not need this as a society. Good riddance, as far as I'm concerned. But that's all I had to say about that. We're gonna go forward to more positive things. Apparently, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is set to stomp the global box office this week with the biggest debut of 2026 so far. Got a lot of W's today. A lot of good news today. It's very nice to not be reporting on layoffs or studio closure for once, right? But the Super Mario Galaxy movie finally arrives tomorrow. Well, I'm pretty sure it's out right now, right? April 1st, and box office tracking is already looking out of this world with a 5-day weekend ahead of it across the US, Canada, and other international territories. Enjoying Easter holidays this week? It was easy to see it as the go-to family movie for the early spring season, and as fresh data suggests, it could be bigger than many expected. Now, we're hearing about Nintendo Universal Illumination's giant sequel could likely land around the $350 million mark worldwide. That's slightly below the $377 million that the Super Mario Bros. Movie grabbed 3 years ago during its opening weekend. But the expected domestic gross this time around, $175 million, should be a notable one-up over the original's $146 million opening. Now, similar numbers are expected from the rest of the world. But of course, Japan won't be watching the animated flick until the 24th of April. Traditionally, sequels exhibit moderate to sharp drops regardless of reviews, so it's particularly impressive to read the Super Mario Galaxy movie is barely seeing any dips, at least during its first few days out. We'll have to wait until today, of course. Early next week to get the final reports on its performance since it's out today. And then a couple more weeks to see if this behemoth has any real legs. But so far, it'll be 2026's first jumbo-sized hit, beating Project Hail Mary and Pegasus 3's $142 and $141 million openings, respectively. And recent online teases and reveals like the appearance of Fox McCloud, who's voiced by Glenn Powell, straight from Nintendo, Universal Pictures and Socials may be boosting interest in the sequel, which seems to be relying on a lot of references to Nintendo IPs and Minions like comedy. Like it or not, the formula clearly worked in 2023 despite the lukewarm reception from critics, so we can't really blame the powers that be for chasing all these golden coins by playing things safe and nostalgic at a time when theatrical audiences are harder to entice. Yeah, and how expensive things are nowadays, people, I guarantee, are probably not going to go see movies as much as they normally would with everything going on in the world right now. I'd say not only that, but you obviously know they got to be gearing up for a Smash Bros. Movie, right? Like, I'm not the only one. I think everybody immediately sees the appearance of Fox McCloud, Mario, just other characters in the verse. Like, we got to be gearing up for one, right? We have to be. It'd be kind of a missed opportunity. I don't know if they'll do the whole thing where they're building the whole cinematic universe and then they give us Smash Bros. I think I would prefer that, even if it would take a while. Because I would like to see some dormant IPs get movies and then maybe new games, and then that gets everybody hyped for a Smash Bros. All over again. So that would be really cool. That'd be a really nice way of doing it. Or like different phases, like how Marvel did it. I just hope the writing stays strong and they stay faithful to the source material. But typically with Nintendo, I don't think we'll have to worry too much about that. They're pretty stubborn, so I doubt they'd let somebody come in and change any vision they have for their IPs. Going forward, though, speaking of Nintendo, more good news. Their character summoning patent has been rejected, for now at least. Because for those who don't know, they're still fighting Power World in that lawsuit. Like, that hasn't gone anywhere. Behind closed doors, they've been boxing it out in the phone booth and holding strong, essentially. Like, Pocket Pair has been going toe-to-toe with Nintendo in this legal battle. Let me zoom in, though, so you guys can see this a little easier. So, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has rejected Nintendo's character summoning patent in a non-final but impactful ruling. While the company behind Pokemon and Zelda is infamously litigious, many saw this particular patent filing as an extreme step and were surprised by its initial success. Yeah, I think everybody hated this unanimously, surprisingly. It did not take long for things to change, though, and now the legal argument by Nintendo against alleged copycats looks a little shakier. Back in September 2025, Nintendo secured a patent for summoning characters in the battle, which some saw as a move to strengthen the company's IP amid its ongoing lawsuit against Power World. While the mechanic described in the patent revolves around a fairly Pokemon-specific sequence of steps, some legal analysts were surprised that the USPTO granted it to Nintendo and warned of broader implications for the gaming industry. And it seemed like a shocking victory for the gaming giant at this time, but for now, less than a year later, the tides have turned. And for those who don't know, Nintendo wasn't even the first ones to do this. Shin Megami Tensei beat them to the punch. If you don't know what Shin Megami Tensei is, it's a series that runs parallel to Persona. The whole thing where you're summoning monsters, capturing them, whether it's demons or different forms of a person's consciousness manifesting themselves into reality that you're summoning and fighting and fusing and upgrading and evolving. Yeah, they did that first before Pokemon was even really out there for real. They were the ones doing it. But the thing that made it all bad is games like that and a lot of other games that use any form of summoning mechanics were going to suffer. If you have any idea of what the type of impact that can make, think of the Nemesis system from Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. The studio who made it isn't even around anymore, unfortunately. And the patent for that won't wear off until sometime between 2033 to 2037. So when companies go through and they try to patent game mechanics like these, it really stifles the gaming industry and ruins creativity and innovation. We end up being stuck getting the same type of games from the same developers, which it just makes things stagnant. Anyways, rant's over. Let me go through and read more. So in this order obtained by the Games Fray, the office rejected all 26 claims under patent number, I'm pretty sure you guys can see it here. But Nintendo obtained last September. This follows a November 2025 action where the USPTO's director ordered a re-examination of Nintendo's patent and is a stark departure from its initial ruling, albeit one that's likely more of what legal analysts had expected. It is a non-final ruling, meaning Nintendo still has 2 months to appeal it, which they'll no doubt do, and take the case to the federal circuit. But if the company does not appeal, the patent will be revoked. More significantly, it also reflects broader skepticism among the USPTO about Nintendo's grounds for attempting to patent a mechanic that may not be entirely unique to Pokemon, which it isn't. Now, while this case may not be over yet, it is a setback for Nintendo nonetheless, as it will at the very least draw out the legal proceedings, which I really think it's just Nintendo trying to drain Pocket Pair's resources as much as possible. But luckily, since Power World was such a big success, Pocket Pair has money to throw around. I'm pretty sure not as much as Nintendo, but just enough to get through this and be okay. Especially since a lot of people like Power World. But it's not the only such obstacle the company has encountered recently either. In October 2025, the Japan Patent Office rejected Nintendo's Monster Capture patent application, citing how games like Monster Hunter 4 and Ark Survival Evolved feature similar mechanics and came out before the application's December 2021 priority date. Similarly, they pointed out to 4 prior art references that feature summoning characters to battle alongside the player character as evidence for this latest rejection. It is worth noting that these references are earlier patents, not real-world video games, so Nintendo may have a case in arguing that other developers haven't combined these ideas in the actual game, but it's unclear if Nintendo will proceed that way or how that argument would hold up. So the development adds another wrinkle in Nintendo's ongoing legal battle against Power World and other alleged imitators. This specific patent may not have been part of the Power World case, but it's hard to not connect the dots in the context of Nintendo trying to fight off the games with similar mechanics. Despite the company's efforts, the legal proceedings don't seem to have hindered the competition. Power World is still going strong, and the newly announced Pikmin looks like another riff on a Pokemon and Power World formula, so the creature catching and battling market is getting more crowded. Regardless of how Nintendo proceeds with this patent, it's unclear how it might affect the Power World lawsuit. Even if it emerges victorious, having one patent does not necessarily mean it will win another larger case, and a ruling in either direction will take time. In the meantime, Power World is rapidly approaching its 1.0 update, and Pokemon has several big releases in the pipeline, so there is something to look forward to for fans of both properties, legal drama aside. It's crazy, man. And what is that? I think Nintendo's lawyers have more than, what, a 90% success rate of winning cases? So it's crazy to see this dragging out the way that it is. Seems like Pocket Pair is really doing everything they can to resist Nintendo's influence on this and these BS patents, man. In other news, let's talk a little bit about Marathon. Because contrary to proper belief, the developers have said they're in it for the long haul amidst fears the game has underperformed on live service hell, saying it's a marathon, not a sprint. I hate them. I hate them for doing this pun. But for those who don't know, obviously some people are theorizing that Sony was going to shut the game down because it isn't quite the big hit they needed it to be. Let's find out more together, though. So Marathon developers have stated, well, yeah, we've seen that. So this is part of a fresh PC performance guide. Now, this guide, released to players looking to jump into Bungie's recent extraction shooter release, breaks down the recommended defaults, how to improve image quality, lays out feature improvements, and helps optimize the game for those looking to squeeze out as much performance and visual quality out the game as possible. Is this a trailer? What is it? Oh, this is just another trailer for the game. Now, under the feature improvement section, the team wrote, Marathon is the first DirectX 12 title that Bungie has shipped. We know that many of you have noticed how much Marathon changed visually over the past year. Much of that change came through your feedback, and we want to take a similar approach to performance of Marathon. While we aren't ready to provide specifics yet, we have already identified some smaller improvements that we can make soon, particularly to improve CPU performance. We also have longer term changes planned that will further improve CPU performance, and our plan is to get improvements out as soon as we can rather than wait to drop them all at the same time. Now, while we are very proud of what we have accomplished with the overall look and feel of the game since alpha, we are in it for the long haul with Marathon. We look forward to many years of steady improvements to every aspect of the game. Thank you for taking this journey with us. And this came soon after industry analytics firm Alinea Analytics estimated the game had sold just over 1.2 million sales, which normally for a game isn't bad. I want to stress that. Normally for a game, this is very good. And for Marathon, it's good. It's just not what they need. It wasn't the big bombastic splash Sony probably wants for buying them for $3.6 billion, I mean. They need to be raking in money for a game that's been in development for so long before Sony, I think, will take it easy on them. But these figures, largely corroborated by Paul Tassi from Forbes, most of these sales happen on PC, with PS5 coming in for a far-flung second place, and Xbox Series S and X in third. Marathon has been running its in-game Cryo Archive map in ranked mode for 2 weeks now, and recently reorganized the rotation of said modes in order to allow players to better experience both without them overlapping. Now, Cryo Archive 2 has seen significant tweaks after some players came away a touch frustrated from its initial rollout. I'm hoping this game gets the time it needs to flourish, because I do think Bungie has something here, especially like Crimson Desert, where they completely flipped a lot of the criticism they had initially, where people thought the game was going to be boring and not really be good. It's been the opposite for people now, where they love the game and they can't take themselves away from it. The people who at least play it regularly, they do have a core dedicated fan base and community who really wants this game to succeed. And I just hope that's enough for Sony to not shut it down because it's not meeting expectations, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. Let's move on though. I guess since we're on the topic of shutdowns. Unfortunately, from a studio, Eidos Montreal, who recently had to do a round of layoffs beforehand, this is the reason why, apparently, because they canceled a game that's been 7+ years in development, which has cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Unfortunately, same studio made Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided, as well as some Tomb Raider games, the reboots, the remakes, as well as Guardians of the Galaxy. But apparently, this is a game that was called Wildlands that had been in development since early 2019. Now, this is first reported by Insider Gaming in December 2025. The project was known as P11 or P11 if you want to call it, as it was the 11th project in development at the studio. According to sources, the game had been struggling for years with 4 different game engines used throughout development. Oh no. Narrative direction conflicts and a budget that had exploded to several hundred million. Jesus. How did that happen? This is why scope creep is important. The game's spiraling budget resulted in several projects at the studio being canceled, including a new Deus Ex game in January 2024. Oh no. Last Deus Ex game was actually really good. Its main criticism was that it was just too short. Footage of the game sent to Insider Gaming on a condition that it not go public shows that Wildlands is an open world third-person action adventure game in which players will take control of a character named River. River was part of a group of teenagers called Spirit Bounds who could ward off bad spirits with their magical staffs and ride mythical creatures. River's companion was a giant moose-looking animal called Redheart, which the player could ride to navigate around the map more quickly. As mentioned in a separate article earlier this year, the game looked awfully similar to the canceled survival game Wild by Wild Sheet Studio. So much so, in fact, I thought they were identical projects. However, Wild is believed to be entirely shelved. Now, what's bizarre about Wildlands' cancellation is that, according to sources, the game was almost complete. Wait, the game was almost complete? And they shut it down anyway? Why? It has recently passed key milestones and was in the debugging phase, where is it hard, with a tentative release date planned for later this year. However, for whatever reason, Embracer probably went cold on the project and felt like any future investment wouldn't be recouped. As to why it took Embracer this long, though, remains to be seen. It even dropped their email in case people who were current and former employees to contact them and share their story. So if there's any updates to this article, I imagine we're going to see some in the next week or two, hopefully. That's crazy. But we have more news regarding to the layoffs that happened at Epic recently, as a former Valve writer is not too happy with it, because he hit out at Epic saying it's not like they're a publicly traded company. It's not like there's some need to hit the stock market thing. This is all Tim Sweeney. Oh, Lord.
It's unbelievable.
He goes on to say that I sure as hell wouldn't work at a place that I think respected me and wouldn't reward, that I think didn't respect me and wouldn't reward that. That's crazy. You know how bad this has to be for a completely different company to come in and start sending shots at your head because you're laying off employees? Insane. Let me see here, though. Let's get into the article. So, prolific former Valve writer Chet Feliczek has hit out at Epic Games founder. I don't know why I said former. Tim Sweeney asking why anyone at Epic should work hard when staff have no agency and the recent 1,000 job cuts didn't come because of a shareholder pressure. Now, in case you missed it earlier this week, Fortnite maker Epic Games announced it was cutting over 1,000 jobs as its flagship Battle Royale game experienced a downturn in the engagement. One developer called it a brutal day that left them absolutely devastated. Now, in response to the cuts, he went on to say on TikTok, it's not like they're a public... Yeah, we literally have this quote. We just read that. So he went on to say, "Can someone explain this to me? Why would anyone who works at Epic should work hard? Because Epic just laid off 1,000 people and it's gonna shut down Fortnite, Rocket Racing, Ballistic, and Festival Battle Stage, whatever that is. Who knows? But it's not like they're a publicly traded company. It's not like there's some need to hit the stock market thing. This is Tim Sweeney. This is Tim. 1,000 people is more than who work at Valve. And so Tim has gone from making games to making one game, spending all his time doing that and trying to make as much money as possible. And I guess, well, hey, Tim, Gabe's better at that than you. I don't know what to tell you, man. But because you stopped caring about making things, you just make one game." Yeah, they were making an Unreal Tournament before Fortnite popped off, and they had a mobile going on named Paragon that actually had really decent player numbers that they ended up shutting down. Though at the very least, if you still like Paragon, there is a game you can play called Predecessor, which is made from the ashes and bones of Paragon. So there is still a way to experience that game, just slightly different. Though I'm sure not in the way most people would have preferred. Because at least when they shut it down, they released all the assets and made them open source so anybody could just go in and make them. There were like 6 different games, and then now there's just the one. But now, Falizek went on to say that unlike other companies like Epic and EA, which he also singled out when he worked at Valve, he had agency and ownership over his work. I don't get why you're removing that agency from people. Like, why would you care? Why would you think that your hard work is going to be rewarded? I worked my ass off at Valve, and I cared about the things I made, and I cared about the people I worked with so much. If I'm at work, then I'm going to work my ass off. Would I do that at Epic if they're going to treat me like that and have layoffs like that, and just EA the same way? Like, hey, great job, made Battlefield 6. We did throw in Call of Duty. Here's a pink slip. That is what happened, ain't it? And then they're going to say Western developers are a problem because they're lazy or something when you just cut them off at the knees, man. He's spitting, though. This is nothing but facts. He even went on to say that the reason Valve still employs so many of the same developers that worked on Half-Life is not just because they were all rewarded handsomely, although it seems that they were. To be clear, I could retire. I worked my off at Valve. Oh my goodness, how many times he's going to say this, and I could retire today. I made more money than I'll ever make. And he added that because Valve knew people needed to have agency. But Valve understood that that's how you get this thing where people care. People worked hard, people stayed because they felt they were improving what they were building on, that they had agency over and owned. Like, even now, I'm excited when I see the Valve announcement about the VR stuff and everything that makes me happy. Would you be that way about Epic now? Everybody I know at Epic that was like the Epic guy had been there forever is gone. I mean, maybe there's still some people there besides Tim, but the people that I liked and trusted, they're gone. How do you build on that? I mean, Tim, you're the one who decided to buy Bandcamp. I get what you're trying to do, but come on, man. You raised V-Bucks prices to make ends meet, and now you're going to lay off 1,000 people and wonder why the industry is in the place that it is? I sure as hell wouldn't go work at a place that I didn't think respected me and wouldn't reward that. So this man was heated. He felt some type of way, and I agree with him. I agree with him. Everything he said in that statement was factual, especially if coming from someone who was working at Valve, because we've seen how successful Valve is, and they don't even have a full 1,000 people on the roster. They're one of the most influential companies on this planet in terms of like gaming and just how much consumer goodwill they built up over the past few decades, that it's kind of crazy to see other companies not follow suit. Like, it hasn't become a trend in the slightest at all. And most of the time, Valve doesn't have to do anything because everybody else in the industry is making horrible decisions like these. But speaking of Tim and these layoffs, things are not getting better for that man, because one of the employees that got laid off at Epic has terminal cancer. Could you imagine fighting for your life every day, and one of the only ways you can afford your health insurance is because of the benefits that's offered by your company, and you get laid off by the CEO? This is the same CEO who's going around buying cars, by the way, instead of taking a pay cut so his employees don't have to lose their jobs. Anyways, following the latest rounds of layoffs at Epic Games, which has seen roughly 1,000 employees made redundant, many of the affected staff have begun speaking up about how their lives have been quickly impacted by their loss of work. One such case has been that of the now former programmer writer Michael Prinke. I don't know how you pronounce it, so I do apologize if I butchered that. But his wife, Jenny Griffin, took to social media to reveal that Mike has been battling terminal brain cancer and will now lose access to healthcare and life insurance due to being let go by Epic Games. The story quickly caught the attention of Fortnite fans and broader communities online, and the CEO of Epic Games has finally jumped in to officially comment on the unfortunate situation. The recent layoffs at Epic Games have been attributed to less than stellar player engagement with the company's flagship Battle Royale, as well as other areas of its gaming business. Despite massive pop culture crossovers with beloved franchises, Fortnite has seemingly fallen short of corporate expectations, leading executives to turn to workforce reductions as the solution for struggling financial reports behind the scenes. This is always my biggest problem with capitalism, because no matter how well your company is doing, no matter how well you're doing, no matter how much good work and good faith and goodwill you've brought in, it doesn't matter if profits aren't increasing. You'll always be expendable, and it's always at any point in time where you can get laid off and lose everything. You're only a few missed paychecks away from becoming homeless, unfortunately, in this economy. Anyways, now, where was I going with this? While Fortnite itself has already felt the impact of these changes, announcing that multiple game modes are set to be shut down for good, the 1,000 laid off employees are experiencing challenging consequences in the aftermath of these cutbacks. Oh goodness. Like, she actually posted the brain scan. There are dozens of tumors actively growing, but this one is the most terrifying as it is aggressively taking over space in the frontal lobe. Jesus. But shortly after the mass Epic Games layoff were announced, Jenny Griffin shared a post on social media in which she expressed both shock and heartbreak at the news that her husband had lost his job, and she revealed that Mike had been battling terminal brain cancer, and without his healthcare coverage and life insurance provided by his employment, the family is now facing a grim outlook on how they would manage his eventual passing. Griffin believed that if the people who made this decision understood the full human impact, they would not have intended this outcome. She then asked for help sharing the story and hoped that it would reach someone at Epic Games and perhaps encourage the company to provide assistance. Luckily, Jenny Griffin's plea managed to reach the CEO, Tim Sweeney, who has issued a formal statement on Mike's situation. Somebody saying in all caps, "Are you happy now?" This is so sad. Jeez. But this is a tweet. In this tweet, she goes on to say, like, "I never imagined I would be writing something like this. My husband Mike was recently laid off along with over 1,000 others at Epic Games. What makes this different for our family is Mike is currently fighting terminal brain cancer. Because of the layoff, we didn't just lose income, we lost his life insurance. And because his condition is now considered a pre-existing condition, he can't get new coverage," which I hate insurance for this reason as well. But so now, as I face the reality of losing my husband, I'm also facing the reality of what type of funeral/burial I can actually afford, how I will keep a roof over our heads, how I protect our son and the life we built together, what will happen to our dogs. I truly believe that if people who made this decision understood the full human impact, they would not have intended this outcome. Mike is not just a number. He is a father, a husband, a person deeply loved. I'm sharing this in the hope that it reaches the right people. And if you work at or know someone connected to Mike's former employer, please help the story reach them. And if you can't, please share. We are running out of time, and I'm trying everything I can to protect my family while I still have them here with us. Thank you for reading. And it's coming from Tim Sweeney saying Epic is in contact with the family, will solve their insurance for them. There is high confidentiality around medical information that was not a factor in this layoff decision. Sorry to everyone for not recognizing this terribly painful situation and handling it in advance. I think I got to take a second to really digest how dystopian it is for you to be laid off at a job and be losing your life insurance, where the thing that literally is paying for you to save your life and hopefully keep your family set from when you're passing, because it seems like they're having to come to the realization, or at least to the very understanding, that if he passes, they have to have something in place to keep them going on. And this is just, you never want to be in a position like this. You never want to be in a situation like this. But to have to go onto Twitter to try and garner so much noise that the CEO hears it and has to step in to finally help you, it's so crazy to me, because how many other people are going through this exact same scenario and are in this exact couple's shoes, who either don't have the digital footprint, don't have the means, the knowledge, or don't get recognized, and by proxy don't get the help they need for a situation like this. It sucks, man. And so since Tim Sweeney has responded to a social media post resharing Griffin's story, saying that Epic is, well, yeah, we literally just read that. Let me see. So it is believed that Mike's situation for his healthcare coverage would have been provided for up to 6 months after his termination, which is nowhere near enough. Though Griffin did state that his life insurance would have ended immediately, she also confirmed that Mike would not have been able to apply for a new insurance plan due to his terminal brain cancer being a pre-existing condition. Griffin's original post has since been updated to confirm that Epic is in touch with the family, offering a bit of positivity despite the changes at Epic Games. Now, Mike is far from the only employee whose family is now facing a difficult time ahead following the Epic Games layoffs, and many question what would have happened if Jenny Griffin's post did not gain the necessary support to grab Tim Sweeney's attention. Epic Games is among dozens of major studios to announce studio closures, employee cutbacks, and even multiple video game cancellations. As global economies continue to face unstable times, industry workers and audiences alike are keeping their fingers crossed that the woes battering the video game industry will cease sooner rather than later. Yeah, because everybody on both sides right now is getting things are getting way too expensive to buy as far as consoles, PC parts, monitors, whatever, anything that carries RAM or some form of storage, hard drives, SSDs, anything like that is becoming harder and more difficult to buy. Games are getting more expensive. If you're a developer, you have no job security. Now the game industry is becoming more and more competitive, increasingly so. Tech just in general, because so many people are being laid off. And this is the same man who was bragging that since so many people from Epic were being laid off, that anybody else who was looking for employees was going to have such a wealth of skill to choose from. Since they laid off 1,000 people, he was bragging about how much better the market was going to be for employers looking for people to get and hire. It's insane. It's insane. This is why I say, before you blame developers for how a game turned out or how a game is made, microtransactions, DLC, learn the names of the people who are actually making these decisions. These are the people who you need to impact. If you dislike the way Epic Games is doing business, this is the person's bottom dollar you need to affect. You need to stop spending V-Bucks. You need to stop buying certain things in Fortnite. You need to let go of that Fortnite Crew subscription. If you really want to get rid of certain policies and really want this to improve, you have to affect the money. You have to affect the bottom dollar. That's the only way you capture the attention of a CEO like this. Same thing with EA. Same thing with any other company who's like literally the reincarnation of the devil. If you disagree with a company's business practices, start impacting their money. They'll have no choice but to listen to you. They absolutely have to if they want to succeed. But in less repulsive news, Pragmata, the game a lot of people are looking forward to, seems to be Capcom's next hit, has gone gold. And for those who don't know what going gold means, it basically means that the game from start to finish is done, and now all they're doing is polishing things up. So whether that's crushing bugs, optimizing the game a little bit, maybe making a few changes here and there, some slight stuff. For the most part, the game is officially done. So when it comes out, it should be great. And that's why this is such a big thing, because it comes out on April 17th. So they've got 16 days to polish the game and get into the best shape that it should be in. So you love to see that. And here's a little picture they took. You absolutely love it. Now, this came on March 31st, which is Capcom's social media accounts, their official social media accounts, sharing an image of Pragmata's development team with the caption, "Pragmata has officially gone gold." Yeah, we just read that. The post then thanked fans for their support, expressed the team's excitement in sharing the impressive milestone, and stated that the development team is looking forward to seeing the game in players' hands on April 17th. And this milestone is particularly impressive given Pragmata's somewhat rocky development journey. When Pragmata was first unveiled in 2020, it was given a general release window of 2022. In January 2021, however, Capcom announced it was delaying the game to 2023. And this announcement was made via a short trailer that showed co-protagonist Diana holding up a sign that depicted a crossed out 2022, an arrow pointing towards 2023, and a sorry underneath it with an accompanying frown face. Now, in June of 2023, Pragmata released a similar trailer, this time showing Diana scribbling on a piece of paper while fellow playable character Hugh battle robots around her. As the duo leaves the room, where Hugh says, "Sorry, kiddo, we still got a ways to go," the sheet of paper Diana was writing on falls gracefully to the ground, revealing a message that reads 2022 and 2023 being crossed out with a question mark. I guess they didn't want to keep delaying the game year after year, raising people's expectations and then lowering them again, because that can really kill hype for a game. Now I had a line underneath it that says, "Very sorry." This acted as confirmation that Capcom was delaying Pragmata indefinitely. Now, after a 2-year hiatus, Pragmata made its triumphant return in June 2025 Sony State of Play, where it was given an official release window of 2026. Then at the Game Awards in December 2025, Pragmata was officially given a concrete release date of April 24th, 2026. along with confirmation that the game would be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 at launch. But at the start of this month, Pragmato's release date was moved once more. Thankfully, this shift was a positive one, with Pragmata release date being moved up a week to April 17th. So we love to see that. We love to see that. Let me see here. Since we're talking about games going gold, we actually have an announcement about another game going gold that people are really excited about. That being Saros. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. So this is the upcoming PS5 exclusive from Returnal developer Housemarque or Marque. Has officially gone gold ahead of its April 30th release date. Although not a direct sequel to Returnal, Saros is widely considered to be more of a spiritual successor. The upcoming title builds upon the core ideas and the DNA established in Returnal, but now with evolved gameplay and new features that keep the loop structure while offering a far less punishing experience. Yeah, they actually said they went through and made this game a little easier after the feedback they got from Returnal, which I thought was kind of funny. But initially announced during a February 2025 State of Play event, Housemarque unveiled its next title via a stunning cinematic trailer featuring Soltari enforcer Arjun Devraj, played by Rahul Kohli, who is stopping at nothing to pursue answers on the shape-shifting world of Carcosa, a planet filled with dark secrets and hostile inhabitants. Although the trailer may have given off strong Returnal vibes, this is a new IP that has some stark differences from their critically acclaimed 2021 release. Saros is still a third-person shooter with roguelike elements, but now incorporates permanent upgrades, gear, and progression systems, making a much more forgiving experience when dying. So, quickly becoming one of the most anticipated PS5 exclusives following its announcement, fans were left massively disappointed when they delayed Saros late last year. The studio's next title was initially set to launch on March 20th, but was pushed back to April 30th, 2026. Thankfully, it looks like no further delays will occur, as Housemarque would All right. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, cool. I have to switch everything around here. So I have to like switch everything and put it back. That's so weird. Oh no. Okay. Gotta love when those technical difficulties happen. Gotta love it when those technical difficulties happen. Okay, so there's one more thing I need to fix. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That's so weird. Okay. That should fix that. I think everything should be comfortable now. Yeah, I accidentally stepped on a cable from my audio mixer and everything reset. And OBS didn't automatically put everything back to where it was. Need to fix that. Need to fix that. Where did I leave off? So yeah, for those unfamiliar with the phrase, when a game goes gold, it means the final build is complete now with approved for release. Now, they'll likely continue to work on a day one patch for Saros, likely aimed at bug fixes, but the game is now officially complete content rise. That was so weird. Although there's still a few weeks left to go until launch, those looking to reduce that time and play Saros early can pre-order the game's deluxe edition. which comes with 48 hours of early access to the title. Now, this deluxe edition, which is $10 more expensive than the $69.99 it costs for the standard edition, not only comes with 2 days of early access, but also includes 3 exclusive armor sets. A special Hands of Shore armor set is also available to anybody who pre-orders Saros before its April 30th release date. And this applies to both the standard and the deluxe edition of the games. Yeah, sorry. But fans can expect Saros to make a great use of the PS5's capabilities when it launches later this month, as a recent trailer revealed some new technical aspects pertaining to the title, as has become tradition with PS5 exclusives. Saros will use the DualSense's adaptive triggers to give players a feel for each of its weapons, as well as taking advantage of the console's powerful SSD for near instant loading times. Now, of course, Saros also looks to be one of the most visually stunning PS5 exclusives to date, as our next title will also be pushing the console's GPU and CPU to their limits. Now, Saros isn't the only big PS5 title launching in April. For those looking to fill their time over the next few weeks, one of Xbox's biggest exclusives is finally making a jump to PS5 as Starfield. The divisive space RPG from Bethesda is set to release on console April 7th. Then just a week later on April 16th, the highly anticipated Mouse PI for Hire will be released, with Pragmata also arriving the very next day on April 17th. If that wasn't enough, Tides of Tomorrow and Everness to Everness will also be released on April 22nd and 29th respectively. Interesting. So we got a lot of good games to look forward to. There's so many games coming out this year. I don't envy any of these studios when you're going to be fighting for the title game of the year. Because honestly, how do you grade any of this stuff, man? Hold on. Okay. Got a few more articles to go through. And then we'll keep things going. Do have some more bad news, unfortunately, as the Tomb Raider TV show production has unfortunately had to take a halt because of an injury to star Sophie Turner. But there's conflicting reports about how long she'll be out for. For those who don't recognize her, this is Sansa from Game of Thrones, and she's also had quite a few other great roles as well. Like, she's a really good actress, and I think this is gonna be a lot closer to how Lara Croft actually looks versus the Angelina Jolie version, because Lara Croft is actually British. So the accent, the look, which is her OG costume, the hair. I think this is going to be a lot more of the realistic Lara Croft that we would have on stream. Not on stream, on screen. I can't speak today. I cannot speak today. But actor Sophie Turner has apparently suffered an injury during the filming of Amazon's Tomb Raider TV show, and series in production has been halted while she recovers. Now, Yahoo News heard from a spokesperson on the show that the injury was minor. Oops, let me turn this up. And Turner would be out for a couple of weeks. We look forward to resuming production as soon as possible, a spokesperson said. However, The Sun, a source Yahoo News references, told a more dramatic tale, saying cast and crew have been put on a hiatus for a month, and that it could be as many as 6 months before Turner recovers. It has also been chaos on set, and the whole show is in jeopardy, which is coming from a source. Many on set fear Sophie may have to be replaced altogether now. She may not bounce back in time. Turner's pre-existing back condition, apparently discovered last year while training for the role of Lara Croft, appears to be the problem. Long days in a physically demanding role have combined to damage it. And this is previously shared from the images of the Tomb Raider set show her performing some of her own stunts, such as parachuting. And exactly where the truth lies, we'll have to wait and see. Turner hasn't offered any clarification or made any announcements through her social media accounts from what I can see. Fleabag and Killing Eve's Phoebe Waller-Bridge has created the Tomb Raider show for Amazon, and high-profile actors confirmed for the show include Sigourney Weaver as Evelyn Wallace, and Jason Isaacs as Laura's uncle Atlas. And filming began in January, but no release date has been announced. Let me drink some of this water. Oh, man. So it's very interesting. We have another rumor for y'all, though. I really hope that they don't let go of Sophie Turner, because I would like to see her be able to finish the role and get the show out, especially since they've already working with her. So here's hoping. But apparently a veteran studio is working new Lord of the Rings game. This is a rumor. Nothing's been confirmed as far as my knowledge. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's go in to see who they might have on the development team if this is real. So in October 2025, Insider Gaming exclusively reported that a new Lord of the Rings game was in development. This game, according to sources, was being backed by the Abu Dhabi Investment Office, or ADIO for short. And while it was being designed in a way that it could compete with Hogwarts Legacy. At the time of the report, it was understood that multiple parties were involved in the game, including Embracer and Revenge. There was also another studio working on a game, and Insider Gaming has learned which studio that is. Now, recently claims surfaced regarding Kingdom Come Deliverance developer Warhorse Studios working on the Lord of the Rings game. And while sources say that it's possible they're working on one, they aren't the studio working on this specific game. And according to those close to the game's development, Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics is working on an upcoming Lord of the Rings game. This work is alongside what's being done on the new Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and Tomb Raider Catalyst titles, which I remember the voice actress who was working on a new Perfect Dark game is working on those titles. She's hoping they don't cancel those games out of the blue randomly like they did Perfect Dark. But when asked for comment on both what Warhorse is working on and a Crystal Dynamics developed game, Embracer reiterated that it does not comment on rumors or speculation. Crystal Dynamics also declined to comment as well. As mentioned, the game being developed by Crystal Dynamics has received funding from the ADIO of roughly $100 million. The game has been in development for some time, but when asked regarding a release timeline, Insider Gaming was told it's still a bit away. Okay, so the game is real. We just don't have any idea when it's coming out. I don't know how I'd feel about a Lord of the Rings game, or if I'm really excited for one. We don't even know what it would be. I'm sure the fandom must be excited to hear that there'd be a new one coming out, because some of the old ones on PS2 were great, and they had an RTS game that was really good as well. Like, some of them were mad decent, a lot better than you would expect them to be. But we'll wait and see. We really got no choice but to. Our last couple articles of the day before we get into playing some Slay the Spire. Ubisoft is being sued. Unfortunately, yet again. This is coming off the back burner of a French consumer group who has filed a lawsuit against Ubisoft over its handling of the crew. Let me zoom in here. Regarding the full shutdown of the racing game, Ubisoft stands as one of the biggest AAA gaming studios in the industry, boasting a plethora of beloved franchises within its library, from action games to shooters and much more. Ubisoft has created series like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Just Dance, with multiple subsidiary game studios located around the world. However, the developer's shutdown of the crew in 2024 elicited significant controversy from fans of the game. If anybody doesn't remember, that's what started the Stop Killing Games movement. That and a bunch of other games constantly being canceled. That was one of the biggest things that actually sparked the whole movement. Now, this game first debuted in late 2014 as a brand new online focused racing game from the studio, and it received 2 full DLC packs following its release, adding a new multitude of vehicles, new game modes, and even overhauling its graphics in one expansion. Now, Ubisoft confirmed in late 2023 that it was delisting the crew, fully shutting down the servers for the online racing game in March 2024. The move brought plenty of controversy from fans, even the launch of the Stop Killing Games initiative, with the crew being completely unavailable to play after its shutdown. Now, a French consumer group is taking Ubisoft to court. This is insane. Imagine how many other developers might get sued over something like this. If they win, this would set an extreme precedent that I think a lot of studios would be worried about, which hopefully it does. The French organization UFC, I can't pronounce this. I'm so sorry, but I'm highlighting it for anybody who wants to read it. But they confirmed on Tuesday, March 31st, that it is suing Ubisoft over the shutdown of the crew. The lawsuit claims that Ubisoft had misinformed players about their purchase of the crew, stating that it was only a limited access purchase until the studio decided to shut down the game. The group also alleges that the purchase of the game was part of an abusive contract with buyers, feeling that the Ubisoft's revocation to access to the crew for paying players could set a bad precedent. Ubisoft has not issued an official statement about the lawsuit, but the Ubisoft lawsuit has already seen big support from the previously mentioned Stop Killing Games initiative. The movement was among the biggest stories in the game industry throughout the past 2 years, rallying against the poor preservation efforts of game studios. The lack of any refunds to the crew after shutting down the game was also a major sticking point for them and stopped killing games, with players no longer being able to access a game and potentially DLC expansions they had bought. Stop Killing Games has even gone to the EU Parliament over the issue, suggesting that the organization is behind the movement. Now, while the crew is no longer officially available from Ubisoft, fans have made efforts to keep the game's legacy alive. A mod for the crew, titled The Crew Unlimited, brings the title back with fan-run servers, utilizing a customized server emulator in order to keep the game running for both offline and online gameplay. The fix is notably not perfect, however, if fans already needing to have the crew downloaded onto their PC in order to access the modded servers. The mod's developer also confirmed that the crew servers did not require a legitimate copy of the game in order to play. Game preservation has become a much more important issue than ever in the modern gaming industry, given the popularity of online games. The shutdown of online-only titles means that the games like Highguard become permanently unavailable after their servers are closed, with players potentially losing significant value invested in the game. Online store shutdowns have also led many players to become completely unavailable after consoles like the 3DS and the Wii stores go offline, creating an artificial scarcity for many less popular games. Fans continue to push companies to put more effort into game preservation as more and more games become unavailable forever. Like, it would be nice if, like, the Internet Archive, we had an archive just for people to put their ROMs of the version of the certain games for players to just continuously interact with. Which is why things like this are always so important, man. What else I got for you guys, though? Let me see. Overwatch has revealed a new hero for the new season 2 Reign of Talon event. Oh my goodness. So they revealed the hero coming in the Reign of Talon season 2, a drone commanding soldier with a unique rifle and a long pink braid. This is currently unnamed hero 51, will join the roster of Overwatch heroes when the next season arrives. And I believe she's down lower, but I believe she's this one on the right over here. This year, Overwatch is changing its typical formula in some big ways. Rather than releasing one hero every other season, Overwatch is dropping 10 throughout 2026, which I gotta give it up for him. I gotta give it up for him. I have to. But see what happens when competition comes into the fray, because I guarantee if Overwatch was still the only big hero shooter people were playing, they would not have done this because they would not have needed to. But since Marvel Rivals came in and put their foot in their ass, they kind of have to do this. They have to do something different. And the game has been way better for it. When companies like this are competing with each other, you and I, the consumers, get a better product. That's when you get deals you never would have seen before. That's when they start implementing those things you've been asking for years into the game all of a sudden. Because it was never really that hard to implement in the first place, but they want your money. They have to earn your dollar now. And they went on to say, respectfully, y'all are ready for this one. So apparently on April 8th at 9 a.m. Pacific time for the premiere of their latest hero trailer, that's when it's going to happen, and that's when they kick off the next chapter. This is the hero here. Let me see if I can get a picture of her. Which I was talking to somebody, her design is almost reminiscent of Cammy's from Street Fighter. Because her braid goes all the way down to her boots. She has the beret, she has the crop top on. But I want to know if she's going to be some type of sniper or assault rifle. Like the style of character. Is she going to be like how Soldier 76 and some of the other characters in that game are, where they have sprints or slides and they're using a rifle with some type of variation, whether it's missiles or a laser cannon? I wonder how she's going to play. But with this season 2 right around the corner, Blizzard has officially shown off the next hero. Little information is currently available about this character, but her newly colored silhouette reveals a great deal. This feminine hero has tan skin, an athletic green and red outfit, and a long two-pronged rifle that looks like it can shoot unique projectiles. However, Hero 51's most striking features have to be her floor-length braid and matching pink flying drone. As of right now, the character's name, backstory, and abilities have not yet been revealed. Players can expect to learn more starting April 8th. With the official hero trailer, this will likely be a new animation that not only reveals this new character, but also continues the story of Reign of Talon as it moves into its second chapter. The hero will then arrive on April 14th at the start of the new Overwatch season, which is dope. And now at present, fans can only speculate as to who this new character is. That said, her design calls to mind Frankie, one of the core members of Ash's Deadlock Rebels. Frankie is known to command micro drones for both communication and recon, similar to the revealed hero. What's more is the Deadlock gang is helping Vendetta with the upcoming mission to hit Watchpoint Grand Mesa, a former Overwatch base now under Helix control. Now that Talon and the Deadlock Rebels are working together on Overwatch, it could be the perfect time to introduce a new member of Ash's crew. That's dope. And then this is the comic book panel they're talking about that adds in this story, which is nice. I love when games go the extra mile to add that lore to get us invested. But however, previous descriptions of Frankie have depicted her differently from the Season 2 hero. Though she was described as dark-skinned with dyed hair, Frankie had short, curly lavender hair, rather than Hero 51's exceptionally long red pink braid. Additionally, this character lacks the rimless hollow glasses Frankie was said to wear. While this could be a mere stylistic choice, it could mean this new character is not Frankie at all, and is instead a new character in the lore of Overwatch. The new hero also appears to have a Helix security logo on her uniform, which could mean she might actually be the opposite side of Ashe in the upcoming Helix Deadlock Showdown. Gameplay-wise, Overwatch Associate Game Director Alec Dawson previously confirmed the Season 2 hero was a damage hero, with satisfying gameplay and ranged abilities. This character almost certainly utilizes one or more drones in battle, which could mean she may be able to summon targetable NPC allies, like with Bastion's Ultimate Overwatch's Mirror Watch game mode. Oh my goodness, let me drink some water. Either way, this new character is only one aspect confirmed for Reign of Talon Season 2. Reworks to the Antarctica Peninsula map, Ramatra in the stadium game mode, post-match accolades, and an official Switch 2 port are all on the docket for the next Overwatch season. There are also several features that have been confirmed for later seasons, though it is unclear if any of them will be part of Season 2. Stadium Trials, a Sombra rework, Mythic Hero skins for Soldier 76, Alari, Maga, Ana, and Genji, Mythic weapon skins for Genji, Hanzo, and Sojourn, and map voting, hero ban, and competitive drive improvements. Now, Overwatch Reign of Talon Season 2 starts April 14th. This means players can expect to learn more about what's coming in this update soon, likely around the same time as the new Heroes trailer. And our last article, and then we just have 2 trailers. This, I think, is good news for Devil May Cry and Stellar Blade fans, as apparently Shift Up, the studio behind Stellar Blade, acquires Shinji Mikami-led studio, you know, the creator of Resident Evil and Devil May Cry producer. So you already know that whatever game they come out with, that combat is going to be fire. So let me zoom in here. Oh my goodness, please. So Stellar Blade developer Shift Up fully acquired Unbound, the Tokyo-based game studio founded by Resident Evil creator and Devil May Cry producer, like we said earlier, Shinji Mikami. In November 2022, the company announced. Now, Unbound is currently developing original console and PC-based intellectual properties targeting the global market. Through the acquisition, Shift Up has integrated the Unbound development team and expanded its console and PC-based pipeline. It will also directly handle the publishing of Unbound's upcoming titles and gradually build its own global service capabilities. I find it deeply meaningful to join forces with Unbound, which brings together a world-class development team led by CEO Shinji Mikami. And the acquisition will serve as an opportunity to deliver the best gaming experience to users worldwide and further solidify Shift Up's global development competitiveness. Now, Unbound CEO Shinji Mikami added, "I am very pleased to be partnering with Shift Up CEO Hyung-tae Kim and all the employees. I sense strong synergy with CEO Kim, who is also an active creator, and I believe this is an ideal partnership that allows us to focus on creativity. We will do our best to create games so that both companies working as one can meet our fans' expectations." And this is the video announcing the whole acquisition below. I think we're pretty good on that though. But if you guys do want to see the video, let me know. I'll drop it. Excuse me. I'll link in the chat. I just want to show you guys one of these being one of the spotlights for one of the new characters in 2XKO. Because recently we had her announcement. If you guys don't know, Akali from League of Legends is being brought into the League of Legends fighting game known as 2XKO. We guys saw her new design, and this is a champion spotlight we're getting. Let me just switch some things around here. Need to put this in applications. Woof. Let me change the quality of this. I have this at 144p. Let's put it in 1080. Oh, I just realized you guys cannot hear this. Hold on. Let me see. How am I gonna fix this? Okay. This should help.
And devoted to balance in Ionia. Now, she eliminates Ionia's enemies her way.
Oh wait, I just realized that probably means you guys can't hear the sound effects either. Oh no. I must have been sitting here in silence. It must have been awkward.
Akali is the fastest champion in the game so far, but her health pool is one of the lowest. She uses her speed to rush down opponents, and she can quickly capitalize on any weaknesses. Akali has two unique movement tools. She can double jump at any time, and she can wall jump when she has her back to the corner.
Okay.
Akali can cancel any aerial attack into a wall jump, so she'll keep opponents guessing even when she's cornered. Down forward S2 lets Akali teleport forward at a set distance. Down S2 will make her teleport in place, which can fake out the enemy team. Use down S2 in the air to teleport straight down. Improvising with Akali's teleports and jumps will help you break any opponent's defense.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Looks like she's gonna have some nasty mix. Don't let Echo be on the same team as her, please. Gonna be blocking for days.
These special moves give her many ways to approach a fight. Her S1 suite is focused on the kunai, her knives. Standing S1 lets Akali lunge a great distance with her kunai. If she hits an opponent, press S1 again for a follow-up attack. With down S1, Akali jumps backwards and throws kunai. Air S1 does the same in place. Use this move to poke from range and control space. Akali's S2s are focused on her Kama, a handheld scythe. With standing S2, Akali slashes the space in front of her. If it hits an opponent, she'll drop Twilight Shroud, a cloud of smoke that empowers her other specials. Holding S2 will summon Twilight Shroud. Make sure you're safe before charging this move, because Akali is vulnerable while using it. Twilight Shroud is a key part of Akali's kit. We'll get back to it after talking through her supers. Akali's S1 super throws a giant shuriken. It's a full-screen projectile that drops Twilight Shroud. Akali's S2 super is a flexible command grab.
Okay.
It can be a great combo ender for damage, or an aggressive wake-up option.
I gave her an Izuna drop. It's so sick.
With Akali's ultimate, she dashes forward with a smoke bomb in hand. On hit, she'll slice up her target in a tower of smoke before taking them down.
Okay.
Let's talk
That's pretty
more
cool.
about Twilight Shroud, a unique mechanic for Akali. Again, you can summon a cloud of smoke by hitting a champion with certain moves, or by charging S2.
So will she go invisible?
While Akali is in Twilight Shroud, all her special moves get a boost, and some
okay.
properties.
This is a nice way of like actually bridging that.
Akali backwards before she lunges, which can help her dodge some attacks. Its follow-up attack brings Akali and her opponent into the air. S2 gains increased range, more hits, and ground bounces the opponent.
Oh my god.
Charged S2 becomes a command grab.
What? Oh, so how do you get ready for that?
Twilight Shroud, she can pass through champions. She's also immune to projectiles for a very short period of time.
Freestyle on this character is gonna go crazy.
You can use this to outplay your opponent. And here's something spicy. Twilight Shroud lets Akali cancel teleports into one another. So her mix-ups can be incredibly scary while smoke is on screen.
Yep.
In general, Akali wants to use her special moves to set up Twilight Shroud and get an advantage. Here's an example of how she can put it together.
Oh my god, I got hit. Hold on. Did anybody block that? I got hit.
Shroud and get an advantage. Here's an example of how she can put it together.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty tight. Not to mention the smoke is gonna make her hard to see.
Forward assist throws kunai over a short distance. Her back assist is an anti-air. Her super assist is a teleport attack that tracks the opponent no matter where they are on screen. Use it to ground bounce and keep up the pressure, even
Oh my god.
KO'd. One of Akali's greatest strengths is cracking open an opponent's defense. Pair her with a teammate that can push the mix-up potential. If you have a friend who's an Ahri expert, they'll make a great duo partner. With Ahri's
my
dash,
God.
high-low mix is incredibly strong. You can also try teaming up with a Yasuo player. This duo can easily switch sides with hops, dashes, and Akali's
Oh no.
opponents to defend correctly or get diced up. Akali also fights well with champions that can use their assist to provide cover, like Jin.
Jesus.
Use her back assist to cover Akali while she teleports in or summons Twilight Shroud.
She looks so cool though. They needed a character like this. She's so saucy.
For now, but your training has just begun. With kunai, kama, shurikens, and smoke in your hands, there's a lot to learn. Master her moves for the perfect execution.
That's pretty sick. This looks really cool. What did she drop? This is more so overview. I don't know if she's in the game yet already or not. But that's crazy. She looks fire. She looks absolutely fire. Like that's cool. Like her teleporting around the screen like this
Charged as
is gonna be so insane. Like how, my goodness.
when Akali
Like that's crazy. That's crazy. But our last bit of gaming news for the day, I definitely have to show you guys this. This from Mortal Shell, if anybody remembers Mortal Shell. The first game, a lot of people say had great promise, just a little rough around the edges, but it seems like the second one has only dialed up the game a lot more, what people liked about it. And since they have the budget now, it seems like it's looking a lot better. I'm just let the game speak for itself. At least in those last couple trailers. I haven't looked at this yet. Oh my god.
To prolong its own existence.
Enemy design's looking crazy.
Void of meaning. It is endless.
That's why she made you. To tread the unfound path.
I like how this looks.
Foul passenger, he's the poison in your mother's heart. You must become the cure.
Right, you were something going around possessing different shells that you used to fight. I'm not entirely sure on the lore on this one. Oh, is this captured in engine? Okay, stealth attacks. Parries. Ooh, wait a minute. You just sauced them up. Guns? I love them in fantasy settings to have guns. I like what I'm seeing so far. Jesus. Got ragdoll effects, okay. Demonic hedgehogs. You love to see it. Is that gonna do anything to him? Oh, you're out of ammo. Got dodges. At the very least, a dash. Oh, okay. I would have done the same thing. I don't blame him. Jesus. Yo, these executions might end up being a big selling point for this game. I'm not gonna lie to you. They look brutal and visceral.
Who goes there? Oh, you look familiar. Can you aid me? I've been waylaid. Leave me. It's my companion, a feline. He's gone. Nothing. Will you look for him? It's an endless pursuit.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think I can go back to rousing commerce.
I'm sorry? Wait, what? Okay. Oh my God. Jesus.
If he's been harmed,
All right.
I don't know what I'd do. Keep an eye out, please.
I really wasn't expecting to see a video of a cat licking its own balls today, but here we are. All right.
What's next, Harbinger? You know, once I thought I'd find the eggs, the ova, all on my own. But few remain, and even fewer are unguarded.
So, oh my God, what did he just shoot him with? Oh yeah, there's some people gonna get, Jesus! I was gonna say there's some people who's gonna get kicked out of playing this character. His head is a crossbow. So it looks like he has some type of super armor on him. I really hope we get some multiplayer for this. If not natively, maybe a mod. Because this looks fire. As long as the frame rate is cool and the combat and the game isn't too rough, I think this would be great. Oh my God, he just dodged. Oh my God. He's got knocked out of the shell. Oh, okay, so you have to like maybe what, stay alive for a certain amount of time to get your shell back and then you don't die? That'd be pretty interesting if that's the case. Some of these enemies though, not looking like they're playing. So it looks like you can have different loadouts between your different shells. That's interesting. Welcome in, Nightmares. Appreciate you popping in.
You've come far.
I'm just looking at Mortal Shell 2. Before we play some Slay the Spire 2. Oh, this
Nervous?
looks nice.
You'll get used to it. Now go.
Oh, so you basically pick your starting point there? That's cool. I can only imagine the edits that are gonna come from playing this game. Same way people started doing with Elden Ring and other Souls games. Oh my god. Says sorry that you had. That's funny. Oh my god, a Gatling gun? I didn't think they'd add something like that here. Jesus. Hey yo, chill, tigers. Welcome back. That's funny. But yeah, no, I definitely wasn't expecting that in armor. That is crazy. They clearly said we know exactly how to get the money. This dang. They said we know how to get you guys to buy this game. Yeah, this is called Mortal Shell 2. She said, how do you like it? Oh my god, Jesus. I don't know when it comes out. I'm hoping we get a release date if we haven't already been given one. Yeah, I believe the first game was on PlayStation. What is happening? You say all you see was cheeks went in the mud and I was immediately thrown. It truly be like that. What I like here, it seems like they're taking a lot more risk and doing different things. Like this new direction they've gone in, I find it much more interesting than what they did the first time. It feels like they have the room and the budget to actually do this now. He said this is the game you've been seeing all around and he's expecting a roguelike. Well, there's this one and then there's one called Blight. That one's a roguelike if you're talking about the medieval setting featuring zombies and everything. But yeah, if you're looking at Mortal Shell, it's a Souls-like game. All right. Hey, yo. The Lords of the Fallen is getting away. Oh my god. They put a grinder on the front of this man's rocking chair with some wheels and flame doors in the back. That's crazy. But this looks infinitely more interesting than the first one ever did. I'm really excited for this. When this comes out, I think I want to stream it. So they got a collector's box in the Mortal Shell 2 game. So it'll be on PS5 for sure. Pre-order bonus skins, the art book. Art like this, funnily enough, this is the type of art style stuff I want to draw with that type of tone at the very least. Not quite that disgusting, but the type of tone. Like if anyone's familiar with Warhammer 40k, that's always been the type of stuff I've wanted to draw.
Nightmares Daycare says, oh sweet heavens, take my money now please, I beg of you.
Oh man. That's funny. But yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good. I definitely want to buy this. I might get the collector's box. For this, I might get the collector's box. Do we have a release date? Wishlist now? No!
PlayStation. 。 。
Let me see. Mortal Shell 2. Oh my goodness. My bad. I have a new keyboard, so I'm trying to learn how to type on it again. There we go. So it's scheduled to come out this year. Okay. We'll see. We'll see if that's true though. You know, AI loves throwing out misinformation, but hopefully. That's what it said on the PlayStation app. Okay, okay, cool. But yeah, that's gonna be all our game trailers for the day in our gaming news. You guys literally just missed the last of the segment. We covered like so many different things. Layoffs, new games coming out. Pragmata went gold. Aceros went gold. What is it? The CEO behind Epic, Tim Sweeney, got called out for laying off 1,000 people by a former employee of Valve. That was crazy to see. There was a lot happened. The lead actress Sophie Turner on a new Tomb Raider TV show that Amazon is doing, she got injured. So now
are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Now we're trying to figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, one of the employees who got laid off from Epic has terminal brain cancer. That was wild to find out. I was like, oh man. But luckily, Epic did step in for him and his wife, luckily, to help him out with his life insurance and stuff like that. Yeah, the PlayStation price is going up. It's been a lot. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, the Fox can't, like, it's a lot of news that we went over. But yeah, so we're gonna get into playing some Slay the Spire 2. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Oh, this is the keyboard I ended up buying, by the way. Like, I customized these new keycaps because these weren't the original keycaps on the keyboard, but I bought some custom ones and then I added them on here. It's a lot smaller than my last one was. It's like 75% big. The last one I have is the full size one. This one just like fits in my hands. It's wireless too. Yeah, everybody initially thought they were marshmallows, but they're actually bread themed. But I don't blame people for thinking that. It looks like marshmallows from a distance. And people don't realize it until, you know, obviously it's in their face. Let me change the game category though. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play Slay the Spire 2, but it's been really cool. It's been really good. Let me boot it up. Slay the Spire 2. Been having a lot of fun playing it. Still getting used to the new schedule. Now you see you being on this late. Same. It's an adjustment for me as well. My work schedule, I think, is about to change again slightly with my days off. But I think my streaming schedule should stay relatively the same. Should be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometime between like 7:30 p.m. to 8 is when I actually start. But I'm just deciding on how that goes. It's very chaotic at work right now since we've got a lot going on behind the scenes. It's been fun though. Or at the very least interesting, I should say. I was trying to get my foot in the IT for the time being. Let me see here. I think we'll do a quick run though. I'm trying to Necrobinder. But for those who don't know, this is a roguelike turn-based deck builder. Your goal is to go in, climb up the tower, fight the last boss, beat it, and go on and so forth. It's in early access right now, but this game has more content in its early access than most full AAA releases do. It's really nice. Give me a red card. Ooh, excuse me. So at the start of every run, you get to select between a bunch of different bonuses, which is what we just did. And this is the route. You know, you have different icons for enemies you can fight, shops, mysterious icons. So there could be an enemy, could be something good, could be something bad. We just don't know until you get there. Campfires to rest or upgrade your cards. Elite enemies to fight because you get different relics, which are these really nice items up here. So that's always dope. Treasure chests. I think that covers pretty much everything. And you can even draw on a map, which I think is really cool. And it's for 4-player co-op, which is cool too. I'm not sure where I want to go. I think I want to try it. I want to try this middle area. So I think I'm going to go here. And this can also be nice if you want to draw out routes so you don't forget where you're going. I think we'll go here, go through the elite enemy. Actually, no. Hold on. Let me draw this line straight. Like that, right? Because I'm kind of curious to see what this is. Actually, no. We shouldn't do that. That's a horrible idea. All right, cool. I think this will work. But yeah, Nightmares, I've been trying to figure out this whole thing myself. It's been wild. 30 damage off rip? Why not? I think he's gonna die next turn now, right? Ah, just barely not, no. We kill him next turn though. But yeah, as you can see, your choices are limited. So you're trying to make the best out of your turn that you can. Ooh, no, don't want to play these. Where is it? Here we go. So this one gives me energy, but the card gets exhausted. Yeah, we'll take it. So I think the whole thing with the Necrobinder is doom, meaning that if a character has a certain amount of doom on them, they just die. You don't have to necessarily deal damage to them. So it's really helpful if you have characters or enemies you're fighting who have like 200 health. Ends up being really easy to deal with them. Actually, I don't feel like listening to this either. Hold on. Let me do this real quick for you guys. Where is it? I just saw what I was looking for. Here it is. There we go. Oh my god. Misclicks all day. I think it should be good though. So it's a whispering hollow. Make your way through a hollow of dead trees. You happen upon a bone white tree. Clay baubles hang off its branches, which curve inward like protective ribs. Such a creepy tree. It whispers, "Make exchange." I'd rather lose the gold instead of health right now. Scatter some gold at the base of the tree, and 2 of the clay vessels drop to the floor silently. They break open and contain perfectly intact potions within. You nab the potions and flee. Okay. Oh my goodness, why are they doing this? Future of potions. You feel a faint rumbling as you round the corner to discover a gigantic spinning apparatus. It has several slots which appear to convert liquids into highly compressed digital.
Nice car.
There you go.
Perfect.
Digestible tablets. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Idea of turning these health tonics into tiny morsels uncomfortable. Perhaps it's good to try new things. Let me know if you want to do a run of Slay the Spire too. Lose fruit juice. Obtain an upgraded rare attack. Lose over potion, upgraded comic. Give me this. Give me that. I'm stuck here. I'm really stuck here. Because if I take this, any debuffs I apply to people, so that means like stuff like Doom works. But if I take this, I permanently increase this damage of this card by 4. So if I use this card a lot, it'll become extremely valuable by the time I get to Act 3. But it depends on how much I draw and how much I actually use it. But if I want to spread Doom like I think I do, I think I should take this. It's the safer option. The tablet's disgusting. There's no hope for the future. Just from when I'm fighting multiple enemies by myself. Okay. Well, if I can only defend once... Why not? Apply this vulnerable to you. Oh! Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. Lethality, the first attack each turn deals 50% additional damage. Give me this one. This gives me block and applies Doom to people, and that's what we need. I could upgrade a card. I could go here. Do we want to gamble? Let's upgrade a card right now. Let's upgrade a card right now. I'll let you know this Digimon game got me in a chokehold, not gonna lie. I got you. Ooh, this means this stays in my hand. But yeah, actually. This means I get to go more. Cool. This is fun. I'm glad you're enjoying the Digimon game. Like, what is there to do? Like, how would you compare it to a Pokemon game if you had to describe it? And you don't have to go in like a super long paragraph or tangent, but is there just more to do? Because I've heard nothing but good things about that one. Champ, one card Slither. When you draw this card, randomize its cost from 0 to 3. Nah, I'm good. Jesus, all these suck. Oh, you know what? No. Hold on. I have a perfect card to use that on. I can use that on Squeeze. Because now there's a chance this cost will become 0. Place a snake carving on a pedestal and the statue scales light up. You feel a bit warm, comfortable, and wobbly. Okay. Okay, first elite. Oh, that's what I love to see. That's what I love to see. All right, so we're going to use this dexterity, right? And then we're going to defend twice and only take 2 damage while dealing 30 to you. That's got to be the play, right? And then we drink this potion. So I could use this to gain energy, play the bodyguard card, or play the defend card, or play this, which just gives me 7 block. Let's get this. We'll summon 5. That way I don't take damage anyway. The 2 damage goes to Asti. He takes a little more. He's dealing 12 damage. I can't really do much about this, so we're just gonna have to eat that. It's a good thing. Oh my god, please. 7 damage, 6 damage. I have to do that. What was said is more to do. The battles have more strategy in them. For being example, being able to switch partner Digimon mid-turn just to counter a certain enemy. Also, there's a lot of options when it comes to leveling them up, and there's different evolutions, combinations of Digimon. Love that. That sounds really cool. Let's move on. Yeah, it's been a while since I played one, even a monster tamer. Man said, I need it. Oh, you're dead. I'm so glad I took the slither card because it was already a 3 cost. So, Rumble potion. Every time you play 10 attacks, gain energy. I'll take that. Gain 8 block. Add a soul into your draw pile. Doom is nice, but I don't need a bunch of Doom cards if I can't save myself. Plus, that draw card helps. So that's fine. We'll deal 9 damage to you. You die. We play this, kill you, and we don't have to defend. Said this in a Monster Hunter game look really nice. Yeah, that Monster Hunter game I'm actually very interested in. I might try that out. Hey, look, Grave Warden showing its value already. Oh, he's dead. Nice. Why would I? Whenever you apply a debuff to an enemy, they take 9 damage. I mean, that's cool. But this gives me energy. I'm taking it. At start of boss combats, upgrade 3 random cards in your draw pile for the rest of combat. Okay. So far, so good. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Where are we going? Do we have any more elite combats after this? We do not. So... which one do I want to use this on? Probably you. Yeah, I'm trying to make this run as easy as possible. Oh, I didn't need to do this. Oh yeah, so he's dead. He'll get the attack me and he'll die. I'll take another wisp. Oh, wait a second. Did I read this map wrong? I did. Whoops. So we're going here. Oh, we can still cut back. We don't have to fight that elite enemy. I wanted to shop though, but I wouldn't have been able to afford anything in there anyway. Let's upgrade this so it deals more damage. Oh no, we can go here. Okay, I wasn't tweaking. Wait, what? Gain... Deals 11 damage and applies too vulnerable to all enemies though. But this one gives me 3 energy. This is such a hard choice. Why am I getting all these good cards all of a sudden? Okay. We take this. And then we take this. I think that's the way we have to do it. I like applying Doom as much as the next guy, but... cool. We're gonna do that for the soul. Deal 7 damage to you. Attack you again. Then you're gonna empower yourself. Man, they're just so good to me. It's 12. Oh, you die here. That's so good. Oh God. There's a campfire right before this. I think applying that vulnerable was the highest priority there. I don't want to play that just yet. Actually, you know what? Why not? Just more wisps. I just gotta make sure I don't fall below 6 HP. Nice. Bone shards, defile, deal 13 damage. Summon 20, exhaust. Give me that. Definitely upgrading Neurosurge. Oh God, okay. There's no need in me doing this right now, so. Frail? Okay. $48. Oh, you know what? Okay, that's one dead immediately, right? If I can find reanimate again, that'd be nice. Taking a gamble there. Okay. So he's doing 9 damage. If I summon him for 5, I don't have to worry about that. And then we'll deal 11 and then, yeah. We'll just take a little bit. That's okay. Not worried about that. Cool. Do a sick'em, and then that, and then that. He should die this turn. Honestly, I want to give him the extra health. I want to give him the extra health. Five damage so you die next turn. Gotta make these important decisions here. Cool. This is okay. Because one would be vulnerable again. I'll take the damage. Honestly, neither of these cards I need to play right now. Jeez, vulnerable war off already. If you want to summon, if you want another block. 21. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, we gotta hit him. We have to hit him. Okay. $48. Okay, cool. So happy we got that card. Deal damage equal to the enemy's doom, exhaust, or this might come more handy since I'm running more so doom. Enchant a card with clone. So if we, for instance, rest, could I clone that card that has Slither on it again? So there's a chance that both cards that come up with different values. But then again, this energy is valuable as well. There's two ways we could take this, and I'm trying to see which one of them would make me overpowered. Clone would be so good though. Ah, this is hard. I'll take the enchant. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, can I not clone the... Oh no, can I not clone a card that has Slither on it? That's trash. I guess they thought one step ahead on that one. And I can't back out of that. Okay. Well, at least now I know. If I know what card I am going to clone, it's going to be this one. So if a card already has one effect on there, you won't be able to clone it. I see. Let's see here. We'll go here. It's looking like... taking a big risk here. I'm gonna hope we get nothing but good things there. It's too late now, but what would the other pass looking like? Relatively the same, really. I wanted to hit as many question marks as possible, though. I wanted to gamble a bit. Okay. So they're gonna do 11 damage to me. Unless I kill one of them. Right. That's okay. That exoskeleton is too tough. Jesus. I think we'll take what, 2? Take this. There we go. High five. Actually, we can kill you here. And then summon 20, and then we're good to go. Yeah, and then now it's just you. Time's up. Now you die. Deal 52 damage? I will take that. There's a chance we realistically could play that. That's the only reason why I'm taking it. Okay. I forgot the outro for the song is mad long. Let me reanimate you. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need him at 20. Oh, hey. Card immediately showing its worth. Only shed on you. Do one of these. Make you vulnerable. Oh. We just do that. And then now he can't touch us. We've got the makings of a great run here. It's still chaos play the top 3 cards of your draw pile. Okay. Let's say draw or discard. It says draw. Ethereal. Do we got anything good in the shop this time around? 8 damage to all enemies. Also deals 12 damage to cut. Ooh. Let me get another one of these. And then I need another block card. And then I need this one too. I think the way I'm tackling this is interesting. Ah, not this guy. It's fine though. Is he gonna Thorns himself? Yeah. 23. What's in my draw pile? So I don't know what cards are gonna be drawn. So let me just. Well. Might as well do it to 52, but this does 54. Cool. Hurts way less than what I had coming my way. Give me a random relic. Whenever you add a card to your deck, add one additional copy. Ooh. That's not so good. Well, depending on what it is. Oh yeah, vey. Okay. I'll do it for this. Gonna have to drink this. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Okay. We're taking 16 to the face, but he's dead before any of these guys get to attack. Oh my goodness. Give me a bite strike for some doom. We're definitely resting. We're definitely resting. Have to. HP is also a resource. Hey, start each combat with thorns. That's cool. Well, there's no point in me playing this right now, so. $13. Weak. I hate it here. It's about the best I could do right now. Oof. Okay. Okay. So now you're dead. I don't have to worry about you. Yeah, this is gonna do nothing for me. This is gonna hurt. It's 20 damage. If I hit this, that deals 11, and then I could hit him with a strike to get that down. Maybe we could bodyguard that. Oh, my efforts have been rewarded. This is perfect. Yeah, that's dealing 81, so at this point it's just how do I want to do this. He just wasn't going to survive that no matter what. Definitely want Grave Warden. What do we got? Obtain a random power, a random 0 cost card. Probably should have taken the card. I don't need to do that right now. Okay, that's annoying. Drink this. Ah, okay. Just let that go. I really wanted to make them vulnerable, but I couldn't. You gotta go. You just gotta go. I just gotta hold that. Oh, that would have been 18 right there. Misplay on my part. Could have played both of those. Oh, I've been saved. That is saving me. I'll pay 100 gold for a random relic. Ooh, start each combat with a different energy. Okay. Draw 3 cards on this turn here. Time's up. We don't need that right now. Ooh, I might die here if I'm not careful. Oh, are we dead? No, just barely alive. Made it through by the skin of our teeth. I don't know how we're gonna do this. We're probably not. Ooh. I have to do this. If we're gonna have any hope of this, I have to reanimate. I have to block, of course, and defend myself and not die. 18 damage still? Jesus. $18, huh? I'm trying to see if we can barely pull this off by the skin of our teeth. It would be really nice if we could. We just may. 33. What am I supposed to do against that? I think I'm dead, right? Just barely alive. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was just dead. Died. Unfortunate. Well, that was nice. I think this is what I'm gonna have to call it today, though. Ooh, we got new cards. First attack or skill you played each turn is placed on top of your draw pile. Draw cards until your hand is full, exhaust, and procure a random potion exhaust. Alright. Well, I appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out, spending this time with me. Thank you, Nightmares, Tigress, Rayvon. Appreciate y'all. Anybody else who may be lurking in the background. And Ricky as well. Anybody else besides Ricky who may be lurking. Appreciate y'all coming through. We'll be back Friday. Friday, we're going to start playing Dispatch. For anybody unaware, we're going to start streaming Dispatch. So if you're trying to see a story-based game or anything like My Crazy Wacky Decisions, come through then. It'll be around this particular time as well. Let me see who's still alive though, because I'm looking for someone to raid. Send you guys someone's way. Let's see here. I think I'll send you guys Ricky's way since he raided me the other day. Oh my god.
With the largest curated global hotel program.
Oof. My bad. I got a face full of an ad, and I apologize if anybody's like ears just got blasted. But I'll be sending you guys towards Ricky's way. You guys can go through, show him some love. He's doing a Super Mario Galaxy 2 playthrough. I'm sure he'd appreciate seeing you guys there. But that all being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and or night. You're all wonderful people. Please take care of yourselves. But I'll see you guys Friday. Oh, here's the first rating message for anybody who subscribes to the channel. And the second one for anybody that isn't. Oh my goodness, Ricky's raid settings don't allow me to raid him. I have to send you guys somewhere else. Okay, raid Sally Raider. My bad. Okay, here we go. That was so weird. But yeah, catch y'all later.